everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade Prime. It's Mary Payne. I've got Keisha here, you guys. We got a brand new show for you. It's Love is Blind UK. Keisha, are we pumped?
Cheerio.
Oh, we went right into it.
Cheerio. Yes. Like I watched the episode, and I think for 30 minutes I was speaking with a very horrible British accent. I just couldn't help myself. You know what I mean? It just, you hear it and you just kind of mimic it. Yeah.
And we're going to try not to insult our British friends by doing the accents.
I feel like if you did a British accent, you would not be insulting them. I would fully be insulting them because it would be like British and then an Irish accent and then like country USA. It's horrible.
Yeah, that is what it is. And every so often I can do it, but I will tell you, I've told this story before and I don't know what podcast I told it on, but it is the story of my friend. God, I hope I didn't. Anyways, my friend Tracy. And so she's Irish. She's an Irish American, and her whole family lives in Ireland. And you've got Auntie this and Uncle that, and they all own pubs and whatnot. It's all very stereotypical Irish. And she's awesome, but she has an American accent because she grew up in Queens and now lives here in DC. So she is so funny. She was breastfeeding her baby Molly, who's now like 22. She was in Ireland at a cousin's wedding or funeral or something. Somebody's always getting married or dying, and she was over there at a wedding or a funeral, and she's breastfeeding Molly in the spare bedroom, and her cousin comes in, and he's like her cousin Shaban comes in and goes, "What you doing?" And she says, "Oh, I'm feeding the baby." And she goes, "Is she eating your arm?"
He said, "What?
Is she eating your arm?" Because she had the baby like this on the
your
boob.
Arm.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like shitting in the arm.
No, is she eating your arm? So that is my jump off to an Irish accent is Tracy's cousin, who I've never met in Ireland, saying, is she eating your arm? What you doing? Yeah.
So you can get yourself, or you're the best at accents. I don't care what anyone says. that is how, because every now and then I'll see someone say something like, your accents are horrible. Like,
they are.
What are you talking about? That's how I fell in love with you from like way back in Pink Shade. When you would like guest co-host, I'm like, who is this lady with these accents? I'm like, she's so good with the imitations.
That is so.
I just love her. Yes.
That is so funny, Keisha. No, you're alone. But I appreciate
can't
that.
be.
You guys, for these first 4 episodes, I'll just warn you, I am at the beach. I'm at Bald Head Island, and I am baby sister in the back. I've been put in the corner of the bedroom, kind of in a closet area where I've got clothes around me trying to make good sound for you guys. So also, everybody's downstairs watching the Olympics. So every so often people will just scream at the top of their lungs. And
we're ready.
I tell them, please, guys, please. I know you're excited about whatever this relay, but stop screaming because I'm recording.
Well, I don't feel bad because Sushi's in the room with me, and I never know when the ancient one's going to wake up and have something to say. But he's pretty asleep right now. So
okay, good. Yeah, we talked about dog trazodone before this because we had to really give Ginger some trazodone for the car ride, but she just stares at the back of the seat and shakes. She won't even look at us because she's so mad that she's in the car.
You can't keep a good hoe down, Mary Payne. Even with trazodone, you can't.
Not Ginger. She fights right through it, man. She fights right through it.
That is funny.
Violet's like, give Mama her medicine so I can go night-nights.
And a cocktail or two. Martini and trazodone.
Let me tell you something about being on the trip with some teens and some early 20s. They really like to drink all day. And it's not for me. So it's gonna be a long week.
They do. You actually do look like you're in a very updated and nice outhouse right now.
Yeah, because there's like shiplap walls.
Yeah. If you told me right now you were sitting on the pot, I totally believe it.
Sitting on the pot sounds like something my mother would say. She was sitting on the pot.
You know what? I said something the other day, and I said, I really aged myself. I said, those youngins. I said youngins. I'm like, ooh, that 45 is really whispering in my ear right there with that youngins.
Youngins. Oh, good Lord.
Youngins.
Well, yeah. Okay. So Love is Blind UK. So episode 1, the pods are open. That's what episode 1's always called. Now, did you find that this cast, I feel, is older than what we've saw on the USA one? Because nobody
Yes.
really much in their 20s here, late 20s maybe, but no like 23, 24. They're all
No.
like between 27 and like 37.
They're like grown, and they have grown up jobs. Like they
Yes.
had real jobs. Not everything was what was it last season? Marketing or
It was like
it was a lot of that.
marketing. It was a lot of like project manager, a lot of like just could mean anything.
Anything. Yeah, we saw actual occupations that I'm like, I know what that is. I know what
Yes.
that person does. I get it.
Mhm.
Yes. They're real
Yes.
grown-ups on this show.
They are. Now, probably when they do a season 2, everybody will be an influencer. But at least for season 1, they got some grown-ups. Yeah.
And so is this the first season of Love is Blind UK?
Well, I'm saying it so assuredly, but I do believe it is the first time they've ever done it.
Okay.
Let me look really quick because I did send you an article. Let's see. We're
That I
headed back
didn't
to the
read.
pods. Love is Blind is back for another exciting installment. So I guess not.
Okay.
I guess this is another season. I don't know how many seasons there's been. It doesn't say in this article. This article I sent you just so you could have like if I say somebody's name and you could look back and because sometimes we're like, now remind me who that is.
Yeah, I watched it again at like 2:00 this morning.
Okay, because that's how you do. You wake up and watch things.
I was like, let me watch this show one more time so I can know what the hell I'm talking about tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, maybe you can help me along because I only watched it once. So we start off with the host walk in. This is Emma and Matt Willis. Now they say, "Is love blind?" Here you will choose someone to marry without ever seeing them. Now, what's brought you here today? They're asking the women and they're asking the men. And I don't know Emma and Matt Willis. I don't know anything about them. I don't know, and I didn't research. But maybe by episode 2, I'll know something. But they're very
just
famous.
UK Nick and Vanessa who are like semi-famous.
And I did get a British listener wrote and said that they love Emma and Matt Willis in the UK. They love them.
Okay.
So that's good. That's good for us. Maybe it's like a Kelly and Mark because people like Kelly and Mark, but people really don't like Nick and Vanessa that much.
No, they really don't. Unless you're like a 98 Degrees fan, like I was way back in the day. But he's changed so much since he was with Jessica Simpson.
Right. Yeah,
he's a whole new person.
Taking her virginity and all that.
He did do that.
So Shirley, who is age 27 and a junior doctor. So do you think junior doctor means like a physician's assistant?
So that's where they had me confused on some things. Like they would have a part of the title I understood. And then like the last part, I'm like, what exactly does that mean? So I don't know if a junior doctor is like a med student or first year when they're going through, what do you call it when they first start off being
resident.
A doctor? Yes, that's what I was thinking that it was.
Okay. I'm thinking physician's assistant or nurse practitioner.
That would make sense as well. We really need for someone to let us know because we really don't know.
We don't know. And she says, they say, why are you here? And she goes, oh, it's for the men. And she says, I have a hard time finding someone with my same life goals, like settling down. Then we see a guy named Connor. He's 31 and he's a health food business owner. And he says he wants to connect with someone on a deep and profound level. It's hard to be dating nowadays because you always worry about how you look. Well, I mean, he's cute, so I don't know what he's worried about, but maybe there's somebody cuter. Then we see Natasha. She's 32. She's a careers coordinator. So does that mean she is like works for like Flex Professionals and like hires people? She's an HR person. Careers coordinator.
But I mean, here's the thing. Those 3 people, I have a feeling we're not going to see any more interviews with them for the rest of the season. If I had to predict.
We see Shirley briefly in a day.
Very briefly,
yeah. I wrote down everybody they put on the screen and gave a name and a occupation and an age. I put them in I have a little spreadsheet going just because I was like, I have a little spreadsheet and that way I can, because really at the beginning you really have it's confusing because everybody, I don't know.
Yeah.
They'll talk the same. Yeah.
Yeah, because they do start to look the same.
Sorry, I just realized Ingrid was sending me notes. Ingrid is sending me texts like, please do not do any video this week. I'm like, girl, I'm not. It's because she is in the Cayman Islands scuba diving with her family.
Of course she is.
She just got
She's
her
probably
scuba.
doing humpback whale riding out while she's out there too. She's
Humpback
probably
whale
playing
riding.
a violin on top of a blue whale in the ocean. Like,
She
if
can
you
do
were
it
to
all.
tell me that about Ingrid, I would totally believe that. I'm like, of course she is.
The fact that her husband is into scuba diving and then kind of bullied her into getting a scuba diving license so that she could do it with him. I was like, well, you're nicer than I am, because I'd be like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. But she did. She went and got in the pool, at some pool in Arlington, and took a test and got her scuba diving license. And now she's out there in the Cayman Islands looking at fish.
She is a Renaissance woman. I say
She
it
sure
all
is.
the time. She just does it all. And she's so cool though. She's really, really super cool.
It really is. Every time she tells me something, I'm like, okay, here I am sitting in a corner. It looks like I'm in a toilet. All right. So, okay. Okay, Natasha is a careers coordinator, and she says dating is so superficial. You have 2 dates, and then they go and upgrade. And again, this girl, Natasha, who we probably won't see again, is very pretty. So you're like, somebody upgrades from you?
She must like smell bad or something like that. She's too
or
pretty.
Maybe her personality is shitty. I don't know.
Suck. Okay, yeah.
Right. So they're told over the next 10 days, you're going to meet a stream, an ocean of potential love interest. And if you fall in love and you get engaged, then you meet your fiance for the first time. You'll move in together, meet your friends and family, and in 4 weeks, you will get married. Is love truly blind? The pods are open. They forgot the little honeymoon part, but I do think they get to go somewhere on their honeymoon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay. So we see all the contestants enter the pods. Now, it's interesting, too, because we know that the pod set is in LA, right? So everybody from Charleston or wherever they are, Atlanta, Denver, whatever, if that's the city that they're shooting in for US, they all go to LA and they shoot there, and then they return to Denver or wherever they're from. Everyone's from the same area.
I didn't know that.
Yes. They don't move that set all around the country. Everybody goes to LA. They film everything is filmed there, and then they send them off on their honeymoon, and then they send them back to their town.
I didn't know. I just thought they moved from wherever, from state to state.
No.
It just created a pod there.
It's a big set. So I'm wondering, surely they didn't fly all these Brits to the US. Surely they just recreated it in somewhere in the UK, London, probably, where they have a big studio. Well, anyway, somebody let us know.
They're probably filming it inside of Hogwarts. That's where the pods are.
Wouldn't that be magical?
That'd be great.
So everybody enters the pods. Okay, so then we see this guy, Freddie, and they say, why are you a catch? And he goes, now it just says his age, which, by the way, I'm going to scroll down. Oh, God, my spreadsheet needs to be in a different page because it's all the way at the bottom, Keisha. This is going to be a problem. I just have to scroll down. Okay, Freddie is 32. Okay, so they asked this guy, Freddie, they say, why are you a catch? And it just says Freddie 32. And I was like, right away, I go, no job listed under, And then he says, I'm a caring, affectionate person with a lot of love to give. And then he says in the pods, I'm a funeral director.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't meet someone every day who is a funeral director.
No.
Mm-mm. And I feel like that has nothing to do with why he's single. I think he's single because his name is Freddie.
Freddie is a very British name.
I don't know if I could date someone named Freddie. It's just something about Freddie.
Yeah, I have an uncle Freddie, and he's very Freddie. And he says he's a funeral director. He says, yep, he's surrounded by death. And that's affected his dating life because people are like, that's weird. And he's like, my love life has been dead for a while. He's looking for a soulmate. So Freddie meets Catherine. She's 29. She's a dental nurse and a swimming coach. Catherine, right away, you're like, oh my gosh, she's a dental nurse. And she teaches swimming. Oh, isn't she sweet? But turns out she's kind of an asshole. Yeah.
Immediately when I first saw her, I was getting Sarah Ann vibes.
Oh, you guys remember Sarah Ann from last season? Just real bitchy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like her. And this was from the first time she met with Freddie. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like her at all. I felt like every time he said something, she was like, oh, I do that too. Did he say something else today? Oh, I do that too. And I felt like she did that with all of her dates. Like they would say something and she's like, oh, me too. Yeah, I don't like her vibe, which vibe is like going to be the word for this season because everyone says the vibe, your vibes. So
you're right. I felt she did that as well. I felt that no matter what the guy said, she was like, me too, me too. Mm-hmm. And you're like, okay, well, you can't
be true.
Unless you're Ingrid, you don't do everything. Okay. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Catherine, so she's a dental nurse. She says she likes to swim because he says he likes to swim. And then she says, I love your accent. Is it Manchester? I'm from Jersey. That's not New Jersey. It's just Jersey. Right, and then she says, she loves the gym. She goes every day. And he goes, well, don't think I'm a weirdo. She goes, are you going to say you go 2 times a day? He goes, I do. And they laugh and everything. Then he says, I have a sister and I have a brother with Down syndrome. And she jumps in and goes, I teach kids how to swim that have Down syndrome. I was like,
I was done.
Give him a minute to like
that.
Because he probably actually had something wonderful to say about his brother.
Yeah.
But she had to jump in to say that she teaches kids to swim that have Down syndrome.
And I don't believe that for a second.
I kind of was wondering after we see her, after the next guy, I'm like, oh, I wonder if she was lying about the teaching kids to swim that have Down syndrome just because she's trying to get in with Freddie.
I think she lied because when she first said that I'm a swimmer and I teach swimming lessons, I think that would have been the time that she said, I teach swimming classes to kids with Down syndrome. Right?
Mm-hmm. Right. You're right.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. I don't know if she's telling the truth. That'd be a terrible thing to lie about. She goes, guys see me and they just see like the 6-pack and my physique and all they think about is sex. And I'm just tired of people judging a book by its cover. Meanwhile, she's in like a crop top with her 6-pack showing and,
Yes,
listen,
she
is beautiful to look at. She is.
I don't think she's beautiful.
No. You think she's just interesting?
I think she's nice looking. I have categories. Okay. There's cute, nice looking, pretty, beautiful. I think she's nice looking. And that's putting her nasty attitude to the side. Okay.
So another guy comes in named Ollie and she likes his voice right away. And he's like, what do you do to, cut loose? And she says, I go out with my friends. And he says, oh, I go to the gym. I like to box. She goes, oh, really? I like to box. I like to go kickboxing.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Yeah.
And she goes, we should train together sometime. And she's kind of giddy talking to him. And he asks her, she likes him. Mm-hmm. And he says, how do you feel about marriage? And she goes, I just want to be married and do fun stuff and have a good time and just have fun with my partner. And he says he says to a producer, I've been told I date with my eyes. Which means he just goes by looks only. Because at first I was like, oh, it means like he has good eyes. But then I was like, oh, I get it. He only goes on looks. And he says, so this is my chance to really get to know somebody. And he says, I'm at the point in my life where I actually really know myself. I'm really, settled in my business or whatever. And long-term partner could complete the picture. And then he says, I've been told I look like Craig David. Did you look up Craig David?
I didn't have to. As soon as I saw him, I'm like, what the fuck is Craig David doing on Love is Blind?
Who is Craig David? I looked him up. I was like, oh, he does look like him, but I don't know who that is.
You're going to make me hop through this damn laptop right now.
What?
How do you not know who Craig David is?
Who is he?
He's a singer. You don't know the song? Met this girl Monday, took her for a walk on Tuesday. We were making love by Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we chilled on Sunday. How do you not stop
I have heard my son sing that song.
Okay, well, that's a Craig David song. Mm-hmm. But I think if he's heard it now, it's been remixed. Like someone else brought that to like a newer song.
If he's heard it, it's because it's on TikTok. That's why.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You disappoint every now and then. You disappoint me. I'm disappointed right now that you're like, he says he looks like Craig David. Do you know who Craig David? Yeah. As soon as I saw him, like, damn, he looks like Craig David.
Is Craig David British?
He is.
Okay. Well, he does look like Craig David, by the way.
Wait, is Craig David British? I think he is. Yeah.
You said it so assuredly. I like it. You said it like you knew the answer, but you really didn't know. And I love that because that's what I do.
Because he was like popular in like the early 2000s.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
he just popped back up on TikTok like a couple of months ago.
Okay. That's why.
So that's where your son heard it. Your son heard it there. Yeah.
Y'all, we all dread the whole what should we have for dinner question. I swear on my life, it starts in this house around the time we're eating lunch. People start asking, what are we having for dinner? It drives me crazy. Inevitably, sometimes we order takeout and it's easier sometimes, but my gosh, it's never satisfying. And I'm always like, I feel so gross. Why do we keep ordering takeout? So this is why I'm loving Home Chef. It makes it really easy to cook at home and the food is tons better. You feel better about it. And by the by, it saves you money. I love meal kits. Being able to feast on a delicious meal without the long prep and cook times is what drew me to Home Chef in the first place over the other guys as well. Home Chef meals are effortless, even for somebody like me who is not like the world's greatest cook, but I can follow a card with a recipe like nobody's business. Home Chef provides those fresh ingredients and chef designed recipes conveniently delivered right to your door. When you open your door and you see it there, you pop it in your fridge or freezer, you're like, okay, my week is done. I don't have to have this fight with my family 3 times a week about what is for dinner. They have the classic meal kits, which is what I like. That has the pre-portioned ingredients, the easy instructions. That's what I like. Then they also have some speedy recipes that can be ready in 30 minutes. They have oven ready kits already, and they have microwave meals. So whatever you're looking for, they have it. I like the classic meal prep because I like to do it myself because I might like to add a little of this, take a little less of that. Sometimes they send me mushrooms. I don't like that. You may like extra mushrooms. Whatever is your thing, Home Chef is there for you. They have over 30 options a week that serve a variety of dietary needs. So you don't have to worry about like what to make ahead of time. And this person likes this, and maybe the friend's coming over that's a vegetarian or whatever. Ooh, that sounded pretty specific. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. That's an entire trip to the grocery store, guys, or like 2 fill-ups of your car. They have a delicious kid-friendly family menu with 18 new options each week for your kids or your adult kids who only like to eat kid food. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life and, of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard me right. homechef.com/pinkshade, but you must be an active subscriber to receive the free dessert. Do it and tell me what you ordered. Y'all, I don't know how it is at your house, but at my house, every week there's a never ending list of projects to get done. And we're always like, yep, we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Oh my gosh, next week we're going to get that screen fixed on Anna's window, but we never get around to it. We are too busy. So, we're coming up on the weekend and I'm like, hey, I got to fix this screen. Oh my gosh, somebody need to pressure wash the house. I got to build this dresser. I got to clean out the garage. And none of that sounds great on the weekends, especially when I've got so much trash TV I need to be watching. So for all the tasks you need to do but don't want to do, there's TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit connects you with skilled taskers to help with cleaning, moving, furniture assembly, home repairs, and more. And many taskers are available to help the same day. Okay, I went on taskrabbit.com and I booked a tasker to come to my house and clean my gutters. And guess what? While he was here, I was like, you know what? Can you fix Anna's screen that is hanging off the front of the house? And he did. It was so easy, guys. I'm not kidding. You just go, you click the thing, you type in your zip code, you type in what you're looking for, and boom, a bunch of people pop up. And yes, some of them were available either that afternoon or the next day. I booked somebody with 2 days notice and the guy was here. It was so easy. And guess what? My husband didn't have to clean the gutters because we're not the handiest people in this house. So to get started, you can go to taskrabbit.com or just get the app. The app is really great too. Search the best tasker for your job based on cost, skill set, availability, and past client reviews. I looked at those past client reviews and I was like, I'm not going to take anybody under a 4.5, but there was hardly anybody on there that was that low. So it actually was kind of hard because everybody looked great. Now you're going to schedule your tasker early as the same day sometimes. And once the tasker has completed the job, simply pay, tip, and review. I did that all. It was all on the app. Taskers have assembled over 3.5 4 million pieces of furniture. Oh my gosh, I could have used that when I was moving John into the dorm. They have done 700,000 home repairs and completed 1.5 million moves and more. Gosh. Plus, with TaskRabbit's happiness pledge, if you're not satisfied, they will work to make it right. Tackle your to-do list today and get 15% off your first task at taskrabbit.com or on the TaskRabbit app using the promo code PINKSHADE. That's promo code PINKSHADE at TaskRabbit, TaskRabbit, taskrabbit.com for 15% off of your task. TaskRabbit, book trusted help for home tasks. So the guys stand outside the pods and one of them says, let's do it. Nonstop Riz. Oh, no. No.
What does that mean?
You know, Riz. Yeah. You know what Riz, there's no way that I know what Riz means and you don't. It's so funny because the Plathville guys say it all the time. Like, my dad's got Riz. And you're like, oh, you're such dorks. Stop talking.
What does that mean?
It just means like you're cool. You've got the cool factor. You've got like, you're cool.
Oh.
Yeah, swag.
No, I've never heard that before.
Okay. Well, see, sometimes you disappoint me. So. There you go. Now, Ollie meets a girl named Demi. Demi is 30. She's a safeguarding and attendance manager.
I can't even guess what any of that means.
A safeguarding and attendance manager. So maybe she is in charge of like here. All I can think about is like a factory floor, and she makes sure everything is like clean and sterile.
But I thought the complete opposite. Whenever she said the attendance manager, I started thinking, and this just goes from my social worker background, like the person who does all the attendance and enters it, like at a school.
Okay. So she makes sure kids at school are safe and that they've attended school, or CPS is coming to your house. Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. We don't know.
Not a clue.
Not a clue. But maybe by the time we film the next episode, we'll know.
We'll know.
We'll know a lot of things. I don't know. Maybe I won't still be in this corner. We'll see. They're both from London. Ollie and Demi, both from London. So he asked her what she does on weekends. And she goes, I like to play football, soccer, Keisha. She likes to play soccer. She plays football.
Oh, my God. You know me so well. Because you know when she said that, I really thought about pigskin football.
She's out playing American football. No, this is football. This is what they play. So she says she likes to play soccer and she likes to go have a drink and listen to music. And he goes, oh, I really love boxing. And she goes, oh yeah, I like to go boxing too. That's fun. And she goes, but then she tells us, she tells him, since she plays football and likes boxing, a lot of times she gets friend zoned.
I can understand that.
I can understand that too. They joke around about they're competitive. And she goes, you know what I'm really, really good at? I'm really good at basketball. Arcade basketball. Okay.
It's a huge difference between regular basketball and that basketball.
And he's like, no, I'm really good. And they joke about that. And then she says, she, in her talking head, she goes, I feel physical attraction is really important. And even if I'm like 1 stone heavier or 2 stone lighter, I am still me. Do you know what stone means?
I'm assuming pounds.
It's 1 stone is 10 pounds. So if you say I'm 1 stone heavier, like I gained 10 pounds, I'm 20 stones lighter, I lost 20 pounds,
Well, I'm 1 stone heavier than I need to be right now after this summer.
I'm 1 stone heavier than I need to be at all times, but I'm 55 and I don't give a shit. So she says, even if I'm 1 stone heavier or 2 stones lighter, I'm still me,
Yeah.
But she really likes him. So that's good. He says, he does really want kids and he can't hang all his happiness on it because some people don't want kids or can't have kids. So yes, he wants them, but at the end of the day, it's not going to make or break. And she was like, wow, that's actually a really wonderful thing to say. Yeah. And he says he's so happy he met her.
Okay.
So now we go to the male living quarters, which I don't know how it is in the UK, but in the US, they don't live on the set. They go to a hotel at night and they come back to the set in the morning. So there's some living quarters.
The same.
Yeah.
Right.
So Ollie says to this guy named Charlie, who I don't really think we've seen much of, Ollie says, yeah, Catherine, she's kind of giving out like sex vibes. instead of connection vibes. Yeah, of course, because she's trying to be like, oh, you like that? I like that. You like that? I like that.
Yeah, pick me girl.
She's a pick me girl. And Charlie goes, well, that's kind of my vibe. Like, I like a girl like that. And Ollie goes, yeah, normally I do too, but I'm trying to do something different. And, Demi seemed more for me, but everybody's been lovely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of
if a man told me I was lovely, I would be instantly pregnant, Mary Payne.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something totally different. Like, I would be so grossed out.
No, if a man told me and with a British accent told me I was lovely, I would be like, I need to go take a pregnancy test immediately.
Well, yeah. So if with a British accent, they said it for sure.
Yes, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that I'm pregnant with twins right now because you called me lovely.
Oh, she's lovely. So, Catherine is saying over in the female living quarters, Catherine is saying she likes Ollie. And as far as she knows, nobody else does. And if they do, she goes, and if somebody else likes him and didn't tell me, then, well, that's shit.
No, it's not.
That's how this show is. I think you keep it, you might say kind of in general, I liked Ollie, I liked Freddie, I liked whatever, but you don't say like too much because you don't want somebody else to kind of try to get your man or your girl.
I wouldn't tell anyone like who I was really feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I might keep it general.
Sometimes just bitchy. Yeah, like, oh, they were all great and that's it. But I mean, no, she doesn't need to know that.
But we see Catherine saying to Demi that she really, really likes Ollie. And Demi going, oh, okay, you like him then. And she hugging her, like looking at her like, I'm not saying anything. Demi's playing it smart.
Yeah. Yes, she is.
So going back to the pods, we meet a girl named Sabrina. So Sabrina, I've got to scroll down to get all the information about her. You guys, this was bad planning on my part. Sabrina is 35. She's a director of marketing and communications. That we can understand. We understand.
Not the other shit from season 6.
We don't understand safeguarding and attendance, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're going to figure it out.
So we meet Sabrina and she says, I'm just really ready to meet my soulmate. And she says, on the surface, I'm Miss Independent. I don't need a man, but really I'm a hopeless romantic. And in the last year, she lost her granny, grandma, who she was very close to. And coming home to an empty house was really hard. She didn't have anybody there to hug her and say like, it's okay. And so that's why she decided like, I really think I need to find somebody to settle down. Yeah. So she meets Stephen. Stephen is 37 and he's a gym owner. He lives in London. And she says, oh, I live in Belfast. I'm eating my arm.
So look at you. That sounds so good.
And he says, would you relocate or would you need a future husband to move to Belfast? And she goes, oh, no, I'd moved. London's where it's at. I'd move. And she says she's in marketing. And he says he owns a CrossFit gym. And she goes, oh, no, you're part of a cult. And he says, that's right.
On that one. Yeah.
We all,
100%.
Listen, we all agree with it unless you're in CrossFit. And then you say you're not in a cult. But those of us know that you are.
We know that you are. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
And then he says he comes from the talking head, Stephen tells us, he comes from a family of 4 brothers. And his parents were very off and on. And then how he has any emotions is beyond him because he had 4 brothers. And then his parents were, constantly talking about getting a divorce. And his parents did get divorced. And that really actually showed him what he wants. And when he finds that person, he wants to be with them forever. So she tells him, I'm adventurous, I'm spontaneous, but I'm very considerate. And he's like, oh, you're reading my card over here. They both say they're into meditation. Mm-hmm. He says, every day I do my meditation, a cold shower, and a gratitude journal. And she goes, oh my gosh, this is so weird. I feel like you took a look at my daily routine, except for I take a warm shower like I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
And she says, what I've really discovered is it's no one else's job to make you happy. It's your job to make yourself happy and not rely on another person. They're very similar and they say it's a home run. I don't know if they say it's a home run, but maybe they do. But I don't know if that's baseball.
I think one of the guys walked out of the pod after a day and said it was a home run. I can't remember if it was him or someone else, but I think they may be twins separated at birth. I mean, they are.
Stephen and Sabrina, they're
really
very
alike.
Yes, very alike.
I don't know if I could date someone who was that much like me.
Yeah,
because I get on my own nerves sometimes.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because that when they're vetting them, they're probably like, if these 2 people meet, they'll really click. They probably really do that on purpose, don't you think?
I guess so. But
Yeah.
I don't want to date someone like me.
Not exactly like you, because you got to have some time apart. Yeah. Can't do everything
Yeah.
together. That's annoying.
Yeah, there's a such thing as being too much alike.
Yeah. So Steven says to the guys, like, it was great with Sabrina, but he was like, I don't want to tell them too much, right? He doesn't want them to also like
Right.
Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the pods, a guy named Richie meets a girl named Maria, and they say they both love Vicky sponge cake, of which I have no idea what that is.
But it sounded so good.
Yeah, I was like, Vicky, who's Vicky?
So I thought they said sticky.
Oh, well, the notes underneath the closed caption said Vicky, but maybe they meant to say sticky, and it was like a misprint.
Of all the things that we look up about this show, that's going to be the first thing that I look up.
Yeah, I'm looking up all the jobs. It sounds so good. Sticky.
I'm going to look up the cake. That's my job.
I didn't know Vicky was a Brit. You guys, people that are from Great Britain right now are screaming. Okay.
Screaming at us, yes.
So Demi meets with Charlie and says her favorite football team, that's soccer, is Arsenal. And he says he's Spurs, which is Tottenham. So that's a problem. Now, unfortunately for me, I know a lot about Arsenal versus Tottenham. They're big rivals. My family, Dave and John, are very into Arsenal. They are Arsenal fans. When we went to London, they went to an Arsenal game.
Oh, really?
Very, very into it.
Okay.
So if you're Arsenal, then you don't like Tottenham. So,
okay.
Literally, like last night, I paused it in my ear when I was watching it and said to Dave, I go, in British soccer, who are the Spurs? And he goes, oh, I think the Spurs are with Tottenham. Like he knew who that was. Like crazy.
Oh, that's so odd that he knew exactly about that.
Who the Spurs were in British soccer. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're very into it. They love to watch. They were like planning a trip to go back to London to watch another soccer match.
Oh, wow.
They're super into it. Yeah. I think it's so boring. Okay. Erin and Charlotte talk, and she says she does not have smelly breath in the morning. Did you notice that Charlotte was spelled like your mother spells Charlotte with an SH?
How did I miss that?
SHARLOTTE.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. I was like, it's like Keisha's mom, Charlotte with the SH.
Maybe it's because it was 2 a.m. when I was watching it, and I was too busy thinking about Vicky or sticky bun cake.
And you're also like, am I ever going to see Erin and Charlotte again? Do I need to invest in their love story?
Probably not.
Probably not, right? So they all cheers like day one done, but then we're not really sure if they go, because they seem to be wearing the same clothes and then they're wearing different clothes. And so that was probably an editing mistake. They didn't need to show us day one done because we need to blend it all together because we don't really understand what's happening. So then we're in the men's quarters, and then we meet a guy named Sam. Sam is 31.
Yeah.
Sam tells us he never liked what he saw in the mirror, and he got some work done. He got a nose job. And since he's found out about this experiment, he's been hitting the gym. He got a new skincare routine, and he really wants to meet like a best friend and someone he can be silly with and comfortable. Now,
I don't like him.
Right away, I was like, oh, okay, listen, he didn't like his nose. He fixed it. He's very self-deprecating. And then right away, like, oh, no, he is a completely cocky asshole.
He is, and he's got a small head.
Well, okay.
His head is small, which I got a big old round head. Maybe I shouldn't say anything at all, but his head is kind of small, almost like a pinhead person. It's little.
Well, I don't like when we're tricked. He's trying to be like, I am this way. And then you see him in the pod, you're like, oh no, you're very, very into yourself.
Well, I picked it up immediately. I'm just like, this guy really thinks he's hot shit big time. And he's going to really he tried too hard to come off as the nice guy. And it just didn't work at all.
Like, I'm not really good looking. And then now he's like, women at the bar just flock to me, but I'm not that great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice try.
So we don't know if it's the next day or what, but Sam meets a girl named Jasmine. Jasmine is 29. She is a mental health nurse. Okay.
She's pretty.
She is.
Yeah.
They're talking about kids. He says he loves being an uncle. He knows he can't wait to be a dad. And she says, I love to take care of people too. I'm a nurse, actually. They both say they're both affectionate. They're both talking about how they love cuddles. They love kissing. And he tells her, I know I've got a lot to give. I just don't know why a girl won't give me a chance. And she says, why do you think girls don't give you a chance? And he goes, well, they might see me or meet me in a bar and just think I'm looking for a one-night stand. And she goes, oh, so you give off fuckboy energy.
She clocked everything he was saying.
And he goes, no. No. He goes, maybe it's just my appearance. He's trying to say I'm so good looking. That's what he's trying to say.
But he's not. I mean, he's not
fine.
He's okay with if you like people with small heads.
He's fine. I think Freddie's cuter.
Oh, Freddie's real cute. Oh yeah. I'm not attracted to this Sam. Is that his name?
Yeah.
No, and he just does not pass the vibe check at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then he says he's just a big kid who wants to have fun and find somebody to love. And he said, remember me, I'm Sam from London. That's his catchphrase. Sam from London, okay?
I don't like it.
And then in the talking head, he goes, everybody thinks, look at you. You can get any girl you want. And I'm like, I wish it was that easy.
Here we go.
Sam.
He keeps complimenting himself.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
you're right.
So you're your biggest fan, Sam. We get it.
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see an episode with him and he has on a t-shirt that says Sam across it.
A picture of his own face on a shirt.
Yeah.
Now Sam meets Nicole, and she says, do you train? Do you work out? And she goes, yeah, I mean, not really, but sometimes I like yoga. And he goes, I'll take you with me to the gym. And she's like, yeah, I don't think so. And he says, are you big on family? And she goes, I'm just sort of like, I think you can choose your family, And he says, you can choose your husband too. And if you saw me, I think you might be impressed.
Here we go again.
What?
Yeah. Fuck boy energy.
Yep. Yeah. And I think he's really trying to let them know, in person, I am good looking. You will not be disappointed because I am good looking. When those doors open, you would not be upset because I am good. Okay, relax, Sam. This is not how this works. You're not supposed to talk about your looks. It's not how
it works. And then I think someone who picks him would see him and it'd be like the whole, hey, I look like Megan Fox thing all over again.
Right. And you're not supposed to say any of that stuff because look what happens.
Right.
So when he says, I think you might be impressed, she goes, well, okay, all right. And she says, so look, if you're 90 and looking back at your life, what would you think? And he goes, I would put it in a book and it would be the best book you've ever read because the chapters of the book would be a love story of romance and it would be so beautiful that you would cry.
That was awful.
It was terrible. And she goes, oh, wow, that's so sweet. And he goes, yeah, the sweet guy never wins. I just hope somebody understands me and really wants to do this thing. And she goes, gosh, well, this makes me scared because you're saying all the right things.
That's right.
That's right. Yep. Go with that. Go with that. Yep. And then as he walks out, he goes, remember me, I'm Sam from London.
He's so gross. He's just
Sam,
super gross to me.
Sam, you do give off fuckboy energy. Hardcore.
Hard. Yeah.
So Nicole tells us she's been married before and that didn't work out, but she never lost hope in finding someone she'll spend her life with. Now, Nicole meets a guy named Benaya. Okay, I wrote it phonetically somewhere in here because I was like, is it Benaya? Because there's some extra letters happening here.
Well, Mary Kay, you better get his name right because I'm going to call him Benihana every time we mention him. Because that is all I saw. That is all I heard was Benihana. I was just like, I actually said to myself, I hope Mary Payne remembers this dude's name because I'm never going to pronounce it correctly or remember it correctly. Not at all. But he's hot. Okay.
It's either Benaya or Benaya, but I think it's Benaya.
It's Benaya. Yes.
Not Aya. Okay. All right.
No.
I wrote Ben-Aye-Benaya.
That is not a name you hear every day. I don't even think that is like a normal or popular name in the UK.
it's a combo of like Ben and Jeremiah. Something like that. Sorry, I'm coughing all of a sudden. Okay. So Nicole meets Benaiah. He's 33. He lives in Preston, but he was born in Germany. And now he's technically homeless. He's freelance. He's self-employed as a house sitter.
No.
Nope.
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 No.
And he says he's hitchhiked all over. And she says, wow, that's cool because I really value conscious living. I do work at a corporate job, but I would love to do off-grid living. And he goes, oh, yeah. And she says, I'm really conscious of mind, body, spirit. And he goes, yeah, I think of that a hell of a lot. I do. And she says, I love hiking and yoga, even sometimes maybe naked. He's like, all right. Yeah. Interesting.
He totally had a hard on by this point.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like,
she has said naked. All the right stuff. Yeah.
Yoga, hiking, living off grid. Oh, yeah.
He likes it. Yeah.
And he says, that's interesting. And the talking head, she goes, well, he was a breath of fresh air. Let's just remember he's unemployed and he house sits.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't even live in a van.
No.
You know what I mean? He's not even one of those people who, I live in my van. He doesn't have anything.
No. I don't know where they found him. They literally found him living in a van down by the river. I don't know where they found this guy.
And she really likes him.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I hope so,
she makes a lot of
money.
Taking
care of him. Yeah, because she's going to be taking care of him.
So now we see Steven again, and he says, I'm really into Sabrina, and I woke up thinking about her. And they're both saying they had a good connection. And he says, I'm looking for somebody to grow with and have adventures, but also we can do our own thing. Right. And she says she loves someone who's confident and doesn't have to be the same as everyone else. And he goes, yeah, I know. He goes, sometimes I wear things just to get attention. She goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, yeah, my budgie smugglers. So did you know that was?
What the fuck is that?
A budgie smuggler is a Speedo. It's a Speedo. It's a budgie, your budgie smuggler. So you're smuggling your budgies, which is your balls.
But like, why does he wear that for attention? Like, who sees that?
I think he means like at the beach, he's always going to be in a Speedo with other people or like in trunks. Yeah.
Okay. I think he would look nice in a Speedo, but I don't particularly like Speedos, but
I don't
he could probably pull it off.
She laughs and is like, oh no, not a Speedo. And she goes, just walk 10 feet behind me. Like, we'll be good.
Right.
And then she says, well, what are you wearing right now? And he says, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says 1% better every day. And she was like, oh, well, I'm wearing a little black t-shirt and jeans and a bracelet for my grandmother, Gigi. And he says he's wearing his grandfather's ring on his pinky. His grandfather died when he was only 8 and he got his ring. And as he's been growing, the ring has been getting on smaller and smaller fingers. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
So
it was sweet. You didn't like it?
It was sweet. I know. I did like it. It was very sweet. But then I started looking at the fingers. So he says that ring has been on every single finger, all right, since he was 8 years old, right?
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't make sense that he's not putting it on bigger fingers. He's putting it on smaller fingers.
There you go.
Huh. You're right. It seems like when he was little, the ring is big, so it would probably fit on his thumb. And then as he grows,
his fingers are getting bigger. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But now it's on his pinky finger. But are we doing it backwards?
Are we doing it backwards?
Okay, so you're 8 years old. It fits on of course it fits on your thumb. But then when you're 16, it's bigger. So
your hands are bigger.
Why is it? Yeah. So your finger stops growing it shouldn't be on the pinky finger is my point.
I think we're opposite. I think it should be on your pinky. You guys, this is sad. This is sad is what this is. And I thought about it too, because I was like, does that make sense? Or am I thinking about it opposite? The hands are getting bigger. So yes, it has to go from his thumb to his, you guys, we gotta move on.
The thumb one is the only one that makes absolute sense, right?
Yes.
So the ring is the same size. The finger is getting, never mind.
Wow.
Forget it.
All right, forget it.
Something was suspicious about it. I'll just leave it at that.
I thought it was weird too, but then I was like, I think I'm thinking of it the opposite way. Somebody tell us. Okay.
It should have stopped at the ring finger.
Right.
So
but
let's
maybe
say
his
you're
granddad
30.
had maybe the granddad had teeny tiny hands.
Was he a little person?
Maybe he was just a very thin person. Maybe the granddad was super thin and his rings were super. We got to get off this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See if you can figure it out. So, and then Steven says to Sabrina, what about children? And she goes, I think it's really important mostly to have a very strong foundation as husband and wife. And I would be okay if later on I couldn't have kids. What do you think? And he goes, I've always thought I would have a biological child. And then they're talking head. She goes, honestly, I have never felt that huge urge to have kids that would give me happiness in my life. I think I'd be fine without it. And I hope I get a chance to talk to him more about this because I don't like the way the conversation ended. I think she was like, I didn't like how she felt like she came across saying, I never want kids. And I don't think he heard that.
That is how she came across. That is exactly how she came across. That's exactly what I heard. She basically said, I would be okay with not having kids. Now, unless they edit it weirdly.
Yeah.
That is what I picked up. I was like, okay, she's basically saying, I don't need kids.
I think what she said was, it's fine if I have them, but if I don't, I don't care. And he was like, but I definitely do want them. So that is something they have to, So now we see Jasmine. Jasmine tells us that her last relationship ended badly. He got another girl pregnant, but was telling her all the things they were going to do together. She said it was total betrayal, total lies. And now I really want some stability.
That's bad.
So Jasmine meets with Sam and she says, I'm wondering, let's see. She asked him about what he said about what people would see from the outside. And he goes, what do you mean? And he says, well, once I did do a lot of gym training. Sam's the asshole, let's remember. He says, once I did do a lot of gym training and I posted a picture on Instagram with my top off. But, at the bars, like people might meet me and not realize I have more to offer. And she goes, what do you mean? And he goes, well, beauty is only skin deep. And she goes, do you really think that? He's like, oh, yeah, I really do.
She's not buying it.
And Sam thinks that Jasmine's incredible and he has butterflies when he talks to her. And in the talking head, she says something very concerning. She says, I have a lot of love to give and I would love to settle down and have a family, but honestly, it'd be great just to be chosen. That's not good.
Oh,
it's not good.
That's someone who's been hurt a lot and just is very insecure when it comes to love and relationships.
Yeah, you don't want to just be chosen because it's not a contest,
No. Yeah.
Hey, y'all. This episode is proudly brought to you by LIB, an award-winning hair care line founded by the ever-fabulous, ever-iconic Jennifer Aniston. You guys, our hair goes through the ringer, especially in the summer. We've got coloring, we've got heat styling, we've got stress and aging. And now it's the summer, you've got the sun. And I was in the pool today. I was like, this chlorine can't be good for my hair. But sometimes you're hot, man. You got to get in that pool. So Jennifer Aniston got tired of looking for products that really, really worked versus some that are good for us. So Jennifer Aniston decided to create what she was looking for because she is an icon. So LIB is going to be your ultimate summer hair saver. It is created with the finest natural clinical ingredients. It ensures your hair will feel luxurious and carefree as a summer breeze. Say goodbye to your sun-damaged tangled hair and hello to shine, strength, and elegance. Summer is the season of confidence, and LIB embodies this spirit. And a treat for you, your amazing Pink Shade listeners, for a limited time, you're going to get an exclusive 15% off your entire order at lowlv.com. You're going to use code PINKSHADE at checkout. If you're taking hair care advice, you should listen to only Jennifer Aniston. That's it. She gave us the Rachel. We all had it. We all loved it. So I have been using their restorative shampoo and their restorative conditioner. I am loving them. Also, y'all, the packaging is so neat and nice, black and white. I love it, super clean. And I've also been using this Perfecting Leave-In conditioner. I love a Perfecting Leave-In conditioner because it helps you fight that frizz. And when you're styling with the blow dryer or the curling iron, I'm always trying to curl my hair. I'm trying to curl up what I got. It's not always working, but there's so much heat damage that goes on there. So this leave-in conditioner has really, really been helping me out. So harness the power of summer shine with the glossing detangler. That's another one that I've tried and my daughter tried because her hair is really thick. It detangles, it primes, it enhances shine, improves the manageability, and protects your hair from damage, making it the must-have addition to your routine this summer. Ooh, and they also sent this styling paste, and my husband was using that. We've all been using it, y'all. So check out all of LIB products at your local Ulta Beauty location to experience the luxurious scent for yourself, or head directly to their website at lolav.com. That's LOLAVIE.com. As the loyal listeners of Pink Shade, you're going to get an exclusive 15% off your entire order when you use code Pink Shade. That's 15% off your order at LOLAVIE.com with promo code Pink Shade. Now, please note you can only use one promo code per order and discounts cannot be combined. After you purchase, they'll say, hey, where did you hear about us? And support this show and say Pink Shade sent you. Okay, so Bobby is 33. He comes in. He's from Stoke-on-Trent, and she says she's kind of, no, it's Jasmine, right? He's still talking to Jasmine.
Yes, Jasmine.
Because Jasmine was talking to Sam, who's the asshole, and then Jasmine's now talking to Bobby. So he's from Stoke-on-Trent, and she says she's been kind of a nomad. And he says he is too. He actually lived in Mexico for 5 months, and he works on cruise ships, but he doesn't want to do it forever. He was a luxury
shopping
salesman.
guy.
Yeah.
What, like,
I think it's just when you're on a cruise and they say like, hey, in 2 hours, like the stores will be open and the guy will be there and sell you like the diamonds on the cruise ship. Or maybe he works on like a fancy, like a river cruise where they take people into town and take them to like Louis Vuitton and Gucci and stuff like that. We're not really sure.
I wonder like,
but he works on cruise ships.
Is that a good living? Is that a good living right there?
It's probably fine. Room and board is paid for.
That's true.
He says he's a caring, empathetic person. He's a family person. He's very close with his mother. His mother was a single mom. And she says, well, the foundation in the home with the parents needs to be 100 because the kids will learn from that. And he agrees. And in the talking head, he says Jasmine has all the potential qualities I'm looking for. We just don't want Jasmine to be sucked in by Sam.
I don't think she's going to get sucked in by Sam. But Bobby also has a small head. I don't know what did they have to meet a small head quota or something like that? Like, why are these? Why?
Let me look at. I'm looking at the pictures now so that I can see. Okay, there's Bobby. Bobby, he's a luxury shopping guide. So this thing that I sent you has everybody's Instagram handles. I know how much you love that.
Yes, I love to go sneak on their Instagram accounts.
I know you do. I'm trying to look at. I want to look at I want to get my eyes on Jasmine one more time.
Jasmine's so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, she really is pretty. Okay.
Yeah.
Jasmine tells Priya, a girl that we'll probably never see again. I had a great date with Bobby, but also Sam. But something is telling me Sam is just not the right person.
Girl, listen to your intuition.
Listen to your instinct.
Yeah.
So Benaya, he meets up with Nicole and they talk more about that mind, body, spirit. And she asks, would you settle down from this nomadic lifestyle? Like, would you get a home?
Yeah.
And he says he had a very bad childhood and that affected his self-worth, but he's grown a lot and now he feels at peace. And they both say they like each other's energy and they look forward to talking to each other again. They're hoping to cement their connection. I want better for anybody with Benaya because, no, he doesn't.
I need a man with a home and a job.
I need a man with a job that is not professional house sitter. Okay.
Yeah, I get he does the land. So in my head, I'm thinking, so he's a landscaper and he lives in the homes that he's working on. He must work for pretty rich people.
Yeah. But he says he's a professional house sitter. So he just is like puts an ad.
But I didn't hear the part about a professional house sitter. I heard that he says he's a professional landscaper. That's his job. And when he's working on the landscaping for a home, he lives in that home.
He says he's technically homeless. He's
Yes.
free. He's freelance, self-employed as a house sitter.
Oh no.
But he did say he's a landscape architect, or that just means he cuts the grass.
All I heard was broken homeless.
No job, no house. Okay. Cute though. Mm-hmm. Real cute. Real cute.
He has to be.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, he's got to be.
So now we see Sabrina, and she was like, I've met this guy, Steven, who has the lifestyle I want, but he really wants his own kids. And after we talked about that, the whole conversation flipped, and I feel like we need to talk about it again. Mm-hmm. So they meet up again. And he says, after our date yesterday, I woke, or 4 days ago, or 30 minutes ago, not sure.
We have no idea.
I woke up apprehensive. And he says, I know for sure I want to be a dad because I think I would be a good dad. And she goes, yeah, I could see that. And she says, personally for me, I don't think I need to have kids. I just want to make sure you have a good foundation as husband and wife. So then maybe, because I'm 35, maybe by then I'm 38, and perhaps I can't have a biological child. Mm-hmm. But I am open to surrogacy, and then it would be a biological child, but I'm also open to adoption, and then it's not. And he says, well, great. I'm here for all that. So
why didn't she say that in the first damn place?
I think she just wanted to say, like, it doesn't define me. Like, if I never have a kid, it doesn't define me. Like, but if it happens, great. Like, I don't know. I think now that they've had a deeper conversation about it, she's like, I don't mind if there's a surrogate. I don't mind if there's adoption. Like, yes, because he said he really wanted to have a biological child. I think she got worried because she's like, I'm 35. And what if we're not like secure in our marriage and I'm almost 40? And what if I can't? And then you want to divorce me? It's just a layered topic,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, great. I'm here for all that. And she says, oh, after this conversation, I just wish I could hug you. And we're so happy we had this difficult conversation. These people have known each other for 48 hours.
Yeah. Mary Payne, I think I told you when we covered, season 6, like this show gives me anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just like, this is still a stranger. Like
a complete stranger.
And you guys are already thinking about marrying this person. I mean, James and I have been together almost 20 years, married for 10. And there's sometimes I forget what his favorite cereal is. You know what I mean? And we've been together all this time. And I'm like, this is just odd to me.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we asked her about her childhood. She says her parents divorced at 13 and her dad really wasn't around. And she always had to force him to see her and contact her. And one day she said, I'm just going to not contact him and see how long it takes. And we don't know if this is when she was 13 or like later on when she was 15 or 18. And then after that, he never contacted her again. His child, he didn't care.
That's horrible.
And then when she was 28, her mom had a difficult conversation with her and said her actual real dad was in Italy. And
her mom is scandalous.
And I didn't quite understand. So the mom married this other guy and let this other guy think he was the dad, or he knew he was never the dad?
No, he knew he was never the dad because she was already born when they got together.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, but the real dad lives in Italy. And she says, and so that is why I find it so difficult to let my guard down with men. I mean, yeah, that'll fuck you up. Yeah.
Yes, it will. And I'd be pretty fucking mad at my mom.
Yeah. And he says, wow, that just hurts me so much to know you went through that. I was like, okay, you don't really know her, but that's nice. So,
but he also said, hold my beer.
But
because boy, did he have a story to tell us.
Because I can't wait. Okay, let's tell the story, and then I'm going to get your opinion on the story. So he says, I had a very long-time girlfriend that I thought was my person, and she got sick. They found a tumor, and I watched somebody I love dearly basically fight for their life. And after 8 months of that, she said, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to be in a relationship. I have to focus on myself. And she goes, oh my gosh, well, I hate to ask, but is she okay now? Right. And he goes, I think so. I don't know. He said, I just had to give up the relationship basically for her to focus on her health and live. And she was like, and you don't even know? And he goes, I think she's alive. I don't know. He said, it was difficult, but that really formed who I am today. Now, Keisha.
Yes. Am I mature enough for you to ask me whatever you're about to ask me?
I mean, was that woman lying, or is that the greatest con of all time? Is that woman was lying and then got his sympathy for 8 months and then broke up with him?
Or is he lying? This is the same person with the ring fingers on the wrong fingers. I don't know. All I know is that story did not end the way that I thought it was going to end. I thought it was going to end with, I stayed by her side, she died.
Me too.
But instead, she said, I'm tired of your ass. I'm trying to fight whatever this tumor is, and I just don't want to see your face anymore. You got to go.
Right. So
that is odd.
I was like, either that woman pulled off a scheme and like got money from people and said she was sick when she wasn't, like a Brooks on Real Housewives of Orange County. But if he wasn't at the doctor visit that found out about the tumor, I don't know if she had a tumor. I think she just was going to pretend to die to get rid of him.
Which makes me think maybe he's not that good of a catch if this woman had to fake basically cancer to get rid of his ass. This is an odd story.
It is a very odd story. It is a very odd story.
And it makes me look at him oddly.
So
because
now
how do you not know if she's okay?
I don't know. Let's scroll down to the calendar here. What the spreadsheet? What is Steven's job? Steven is a gym owner.
Yeah.
CrossFit gym owner. I'm already looking at him sideways because of that.
Yes. Then we got the fingers and the rings. Now we've got this death, almost death, cancer, maybe not cancer. Just this woman just don't want to be with me anymore, or it's a complete lie.
All right. TBD.
Yeah.
So Sabrina and Steven say they are vibing, and she says she can see an amazing life with him. Okay. The word of the show is vibing. On yes. The other one, it was connection. Connection. I have a connection. We have a connection.
And then we've got Ollie, who's 100%. 100%. That's his favorite word. It's 100%.
So Steven comes back to the pods and was like, my connection with Sabrina is really real. And she is telling the girls the same thing. And then she was like, but I worry that in the real world, I wouldn't have given him a chance. Why? Why do you say that? Because he's a CrossFit owner. You've been like, you're a CrossFit gym owner and you lied about your pinky finger.
And I don't know. This woman.
And the woman that may be or may not is dead. So, all right. Right, TBD. If we never hear anything more about this, I'm going to be so mad.
You have to find that woman.
We got to take it to the Reddit and find that woman. So
yes.
So now we see Catherine again. Remember, she bugs, and she is digging Ollie, and she's digging.
I like
Freddie.
what you just said. I like what you just said. You're like Catherine, and she bugs. I like that.
We need to remember that she bugs. Because she does.
I like that saying. I've never heard that before, Mary Payne.
Does somebody bugs?
I've heard like that person bugs me, but you said she bugs.
She bugs.
I don't know. It's just like the way you said it has some swag to it.
Oh, well, I don't know. I say she bugs all the time. I'm like, oh my God, you're bugging. You're bugging.
No,
get away from me. You bug.
I just have said like that person bugs the fuck out of me, but I never have said that person bugs.
Interesting. Well, we're just learning so much about each other today, Keisha.
We are. I feel like we just had a session in couples therapy and just so many new things came up. I feel closer to you. I feel like we're really connected.
We say that all the time. And Dave will say something like, oh my God, you bug. I'm like, you bug. Okay. So Catherine, who bugs, is digging Ollie and Freddie. And Freddie tells us his last name is Powell. And he's like, oh, are you trying to figure out like what your name would be? Ha ha. And she goes, yeah, my middle name is Mary. And he goes, my gran was Mary. And she's like, stop it. What was your granddad? And she says, my granddad was Bill. And he goes, no, my granddad was Bill. And I was like, are you guys cousins? Maybe you should look into that.
But why is she crying?
She starts crying, and he goes, I have goosebumps. Bawling. I don't know, because they each had grandparents named Mary and Bill.
Like she is like almost can't control herself crying. And I'm
it's weird.
Why is she crying?
I don't know. Maybe they've kept him up too late and they're exhausted. And then he's like, I have goosebumps. He goes, that's mad. That's mad. That's crazy. And she says, I really like him. and we have things in common, but Ollie is doing my head in. And he's not a boy, he's a man. And I find that sexy. So Catherine is also digging Ollie.
I think she's sexually attracted to this person, even though she's never seen him.
Mm-hmm. She has his voice. She thinks he's manly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Ollie and Catherine talk about what they wear to get comfy and to sleep. And of course, she's like, I like to be naked. Whatever. And Ollie likes Catherine and Demi. And he sees that Catherine presents, like he said, this sexy image, and Demi is playing it more cool.
Yes.
Now, Demi and Ollie have a meeting, and she says, what would you do if I was feeling rubbish? And he says he would give her space, but he would give her cuddles. And she was like, wow, that's the right answer. Because normally I would say, I just want the space. But actually, that would be pretty nice for somebody to give me a kiss on the head and say it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
So she says, I know where my heart is. This is Demi saying this. I know where my heart is, but I don't want to be too open or too vulnerable. But my heart is there with him. And he says he's not 100%. He's not 100%. To her, he says that. He's not 100%. And he says, I'm just being honest. You have all the things I'm looking for, but I have to give the other girls a chance. So. Yeah.
And the way that Demi was dressed and how she looked, she dressed for what he just said. Like a complete letdown. No makeup. She just looked kind of sad and broken down when she went in there. I was like, thank God he really can't see her, because he'd be like, are you sick? Are you ill? What's going on? It
is interesting that you're saying that, because I noticed on that first day, of course, they're all in their heels and their dresses.
Yeah.
And on that second day, they're just full out in sweatsuits, barefoot. They're like, oh, okay, now I got to wash my face. Nobody can see me. Why am I wearing high heels and a dress?
They're smart, because the other cast was not. They were still wearing heels all the way into the end.
Yeah. Except for, remember, what's her name? Oh God, what was her name with Clay? AD. And AD. Remember AD on the day they got engaged, she had on those ripped jeans. Because remember, she was
she did. But she still had on heels.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
She had a tank top. Yeah. So, okay, back to Demi and Ollie. And that's when he says he's got to be honest. He's not 100%. He's still trying to give the other girl a chance, of course, which is Catherine.
Yes.
And in her talking head, Demi says, Ollie is really, he's an open-hearted, pure soul. And I think he's the one. And in talking head, he goes, I like her, but I don't want to lead anybody on. Okay.
This is so odd.
This is what I don't like. Demi and Catherine sit to kind of talk, but this is where we're seeing people's true colors. Demi and Catherine are talking. Now, you remember that Catherine has told Demi more than once that she really likes Ollie, and Demi really hasn't said much at all.
Right.
And then, and in her talking head, Demi says, I really like Ollie, and that's who I want. That's who I want. I don't want to hurt my friend, but I don't want to sacrifice my connection, because I never put myself first, and I'm here to put myself first. So I really like him, and I'm going to go for it.
Well, first of all, that's not your friend. You just met this person. She's not a friend at all. She is a housemate.
Right.
And a competitor.
And a competitor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Catherine says, I can tell that Demi likes him, but in the outside world, he would not like her. I should just keep my mouth shut, because it gets me in trouble.
She's such a bitch.
And now we know everything we need to know about Catherine.
Yep.
Is she's like, I'm hotter than her. So in the outside world, it would be no competition, because I'm hotter than her.
That's exactly what she said. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Well, you're a bad person, and we hate you now.
Yeah.
So
I hated her before that. So.
Yeah, but I was just sort of like, oh, maybe she's just insecure and trying to be like, oh, you like kickboxing? I like kickboxing. You like to ride a whale and play the violin? Me too. She was trying to do that, but now you can tell now she's a mean girl.
Yeah, she is 100%.
So in the men's quarters, Steven's talking about how lucky he feels to have met Sabrina, and, just focusing on this voice and falling in love, and the feelings are so real and he can't believe it. Now, Steven and Sabrina meet up in the pods. This is the end of episode 1.
I know.
They meet in the pods, and he says, oh, your voice is so calming to me. And hey, by your side, you see this like white thing? Should you just pick that up? And she goes, okay. And he says, read it to me. And he says, it's the start of a poem that I wrote for you. And she's like, oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And the poem goes like this. You stole my mind and now my heart too. Can I say something crazy? I love you. Can I take your hand as I take a knee and ask you something crazy? Will you marry me? Now you used crazy twice. So there's a second, you didn't have to say, can I say something crazy? I love you. And also, and ask you something crazy. Will you marry me? He should have said.
Well, he also is a CrossFitter.
So brains might not be his.
Possibly not. And he owns the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
And she says, Stephen, where to even start? You were genuinely incredible, just amazing. This has been such an amazing journey, and I'm so glad I've gotten to do this with you. And that's the end of episode 1.
Why in the hell did he ask her to marry him this soon?
End of episode 1.
So let's just assume, because we have seen 2, maybe 3 outfit changes.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been on 3 dates. And he's
they have 10 days in the pods, but they have to, let's just say, we don't know, but let's just say there's 16 on each side. They have to meet everybody at first. It's like a college rush for frats and sororities. You have to go to everybody. Everybody has to meet everybody, and then you can narrow it down.
So in between all of that, he is falling so head over heels in love with this woman that he's going to ask her to be his wife. And we're possibly on day 2, maybe day 3 of meeting each other.
Yeah, but they're like, we're going to be the first ones. He's like, I'm locking this shit down. I'm getting out of here. But then we also did find out that when they lock it down, that they don't get to leave that day and meet the person and start. They have to wait till the end of the 10 days. Yeah. But he's like, I'm taking her off the market.
I don't like it.
Okay. Did you watch ahead to see what happens?
No. I've only watched episode 1. Oh, you did?
I did. I sure did.
Oh, no. I'm only episode 1.
Yeah, this was last night, and I was watching. And I was like, well, I can't go to bed not knowing.
So I went straight to bed. I'm like, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I will watch it tomorrow and see what happens. But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. It was something. And so that's it. That's the end of Love is Blind season something, ? Episode 1. Yes. We'll find out by the time we do the next episode. We'll find out what some of these jobs are, and we'll find out how many seasons there have been of Love is Blind UK.
And we're also going to find out what Vicky possibly sticky sponge cake is too. That is number 1 on the list. Yeah. That is what's really fucking important right now, okay? You
have learned a couple of things today. You've learned that a budgie smuggler is a Speedo.
Speedo, yes.
You learned that football means soccer.
Well, I knew that. But when she said it, I went completely blank and just thought American football. Yeah. I forgot we were in the UK. You know what I mean?
You thought she's out there playing flag football on the weekends?
Here, let me just be honest. I really was waiting for all these people to bring out their wands and start doing magic, because I'm like, all of y'all sound like Harry Potter characters to me. So.
That is funny.
Like at any moment. Yeah. So yeah, I did learn a few things, from this one episode.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny. All right, everybody, tune in, and I'll say it at the end of every episode. We love you guys being here on Pink Shade Prime. So follow Keisha. She's at the Libra Lounge with Keisha. She has a great podcast of the same name. And please follow me on Instagram at Pink Shade Pod. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.